Welcome back to Car Talks, where I rant, ramble, rave, word vomit. Just process different thoughts, life, fitness, training, the works. Thinking about today, just the basics, right? I think it's, people always say the basics, the reason, or the basics for a reason. Wow, word vomit there, like I said. But yeah, so right now going through some facility changes. Our square footage is changing. Our layout is changing, and so especially when we're talking about what you do with athletes, like I think there's been times where we get caught doing focusing on doing too much when realistically, like, you got to be able to focus on the basics. And I'm not saying like, all right, and maybe the more apt term is we focus on certain aspects of the basics too much. So when we're talking about working like with kids, like we do longer sprints more often than we would do shorter sprints. We would do probably a little bit less short change of direction compared to some long. Like I said, we did a lot of linear stuff. In changing up the space that we're operating out of, certain things are gonna have to, be utilized more. We did a lot of deadlifting compared to squatting. That's not necessarily a bad thing because you need your posterior chain. But there's oftentimes, a lack of variety in our strength training. So I think something like that, learning how to develop, learning how to emphasize the basics across all of them. When we talk about squat, hinge, push, pull, right? Like varying those up is important, just as, obviously focusing on how you do each thing, but then consistently hitting each thing. So I don't know, just like this weird thought, as I was, relaying out equipment and stuff today and kind of transporting weights and racks and things like that, is that a lot of times we get so caught up on doing the basics, but then we also bias certain basics. So I don't know, just focus on the basics, execute them perfectly, spread out, and make sure you're focusing and hitting each basic thing. Make sure you squat, make sure you hinge, make sure you push, make sure you pull. And that can be in whatever form you want it to, single leg, double leg, whatever. But hit the basics, make sure you cover all of the basics, and then stick to them with perfect execution. And until next time, we'll see you in the passenger seat.